Hello everyone, welcome, I'm Robert, and this is another playthrough of Star Wars Destiny Encounters. Today we're playing against General Grievous on normal difficulty, and I'm using a starter Obi-Wan and Satine Christ deck. But it is a improved version. It's a combined, it's two of these starter decks combined, okay? So that I have a 30 card deck and I have the pairs of some of the best cards in the deck. And just a reminder, this deck is kind of out of print. It's a bit rare to find, unfortunately, but this is by far the most powerful, one of the most powerful decks that you can build just from a pair of starter decks. Okay, so we're almost done setting up. I just need to roll to see who goes first, and I am using the the Advanced Battlefields module. If Grievous wins the role, he's going to bring this battlefield, and here are his instructions for how he's going to interpret the battlefield when using the claim ability. And this is the battlefield that comes with this pre-constructed deck. So let's roll and see. Okay, and it looks like we've got 3, 2, so we got a total of 6. And now let's roll for Grievous and also his battle droids. Okay, so it looks like we got 2, 4, that's a 0, so that doesn't add up to anything. 0, there's a 1, and then we got another 0, 0, yeah, looks like Grievous rolled horribly. So we're gonna just put all of this away. And he is gonna gain 2 shields. Okay. Now remember, for this Grievous, for setting up this Grievous encounter, so I win the roll. So we're gonna keep our battlefield, and we'll address this in a second. But you have to shuffle the other droid cards and create this droid deck. Okay, so that when a droid is defeated, they get replaced and activated immediately as per the Endless Ranks plot. Okay, so this part of the, if you read the enemy plot, Endless Ranks, that's how this 2 battle droids end up here. So when you defeat an enemy droid, you put a damage here, ignoring shields, and when you reach the 5 damage, you flip General Grievous to this side, and then you can just deal damage normally to him. But in the meantime, you can't really deal damage to him other than by defeating droids. Okay, and now after winning the roll, we're gonna use this Death Watch hideout, and we're gonna use this battlefield ability, which is the one that best matches the card. So if the enemy has no resources, they gain a resource. Okay, all right. So that's where the battle will take place, and that pretty much is it. We just now draw our hands. So the enemy has their hand row ready. Okay, so this is a pretty good hand already. I like this hand. I can't complain. So I think we can go ahead and start. So I go first. So I have this pointing at me. It means that I have control of the battlefield since I won during the roll-off. And when a battlefield is claimed, it's flipped to this side. Okay. All right. So now, first thing I'll do, I want to. I think I want to play Mandalorian Jackpack. Okay. Put it on her. And we put the die for Mandalorian Jetpack. And let's. I don't know why I put the character dice in there. Okay, let's fix that. Okay, so we're gonna use this to represent characters being activated instead of rotating them. So we're gonna roll 4. Okay. Okay, so we got 6, 6, 5, 2. Cool. Now on my turn, I want to activate. Why don't I activate Obi-Wan first, actually? So there you go. Roll. Okay, not bad. Now we're gonna activate the battle droid, and they have a special ability. So um, after you activate this character, activate the next droid character in the enemy row. So we're gonna roll both. Okay. Yeah, that pretty much is it. So for the enemy, so now we are gonna roll. Let's roll Satine. So we're gonna activate that. Okay, there we go. So that's some indirect damage there. I like it. And now the enemy will resolve these two ranged dice. So we're gonna put 2 damage on Satine. And then on my turn, I want to use Obi-Wan's power action. So here, resolve one of your dice showing a value of 2 or more, increasing its value by 2. So I want to, let's see, let's turn, let's see, is there a better one? Okay, let's think about that first. So actually, I'll take it back. Let's go ahead and wait another turn to do that. Let's just wait a turn, because here's what I'll do instead. Let me turn this to this side and to this side. Okay, let's do that first, and then we will use this later. So Grievous will then resolve his 5, so he'll gain a resource. Okay, and then on my turn, let's start resolving these. So I'll resolve this first, and that means that this droid will go away. Okay, so that puts 1 damage on Grievous, and I'm gonna wait until he flips before I use that. So that's 1 damage unblockable on Grievous, and then we resolve the Endless Ranks effect. We are gonna put we're gonna play the top droid from the droid deck and put it on the rightmost available area here on the enemy row, and that's Commando Droid. So we're gonna activate it immediately. Okay, that's part of the effect. So we play the top droid from the droid deck, activate it immediately. So it means that we roll its character die. There we go. Okay, so now I'm still on my resolve dice because I chose to resolve indirect damage. Okay, so I can still keep resolving them. So I'll resolve this, which will put 2 damage on him. Okay, and then I'll resolve another one. Okay, so that's 3, and now there's 1 damage left, so that'll go here. Okay, and then we trigger the Endless Ranks effect. So this is gone. Okay, and droid didn't even get a chance. So that's 2 damage, and then we once again play the top card of the droid deck, and we activate it immediately. That finishes my activation of indirect dice. So now I can then let Grievous act. So he's gonna resolve his 4s, so that's 4, and it's gonna go against Satine. Okay, and now on my turn, I'm finally gonna go ahead and resolve. That seems a bit wasteful, sadly, but you know, maybe I can use this force flow now. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go ahead and use this force flow. Let's turn this to a shield side. Okay. Okay, so that's my action for the turn. So I'm gonna set this aside, and then battle droid. Resolve that, and 1 damage on Satine. And now, finally, I get to use his power action. Resolve 1 of my dice, showing a value of 2 or more, increasing its value by 1. So I'll give Obi-Wan 1 shield, and I'm gonna give 2 to Satine. Okay. And then Grievous will make me lose a resource, but I don't have a resource, so that's his turn. And then on my turn, I'll go ahead and gain a resource from claiming the battlefield. I don't really have anything else to do. So then Grievous will proceed to play cards. So that separate is base, reroll, and it has an activate action. So reroll all enemy droid dice, showing blank. If no dice were rerolled this way, the enemy gains 1 resource. So let's go ahead and we start from the top. So activate all of that. So we play a card, but now there's a card that can be activated. So we're gonna go ahead and activate that. Now there's no blank dice to reroll from droids, so the enemy simply gains a resource. Okay. Okay. Play another card. Focus. So reroll dice. If not, search. So there's no dice to reroll, so we just play the top card of the encounter deck. Stop repulsor craft. Attach to the rightmost enemy droid character in the enemy row and ready it. And then after attached character is activated, the enemy gains an additional action. So we're gonna ready this guy, okay? And then we're gonna activate it again, and he'll gain an additional action. So deal 2 indirect damage to each player. So that's the droid's number 6. That is special. So I'm just gonna apply it to the shields, and now we play this last card, Satine. Each player discards the top 4 cards of their deck. Okay. And earlier I did ignore this ability because I didn't have any cards on my discard pile, so it didn't matter. But that is the enemy's activation now. That's their entire turn, so now we move on to the next turn. So let's start by removing these exhaust tokens. Okay. Power action token. I think we can slide this over here, and we now refresh this. We flip this. I gain my 2 resources. Okay, and I draw up to 5. I like these. Actually, I think I can discard this. Draw 2. Okay, looking good. Alright, so I go first since I have control of the battlefield. I actually think that what I want to do is let's give this lightsaber to Satine, okay? Because I can always redeploy it. 1, 2, and 3. Let's put this here, and then Grievous will go ahead and activate this character card. So it's 6, 6, 2, and 3. Okay. Now I will go ahead and activate Obi-Wan. Okay. And then Battle Droid will activate. And because of the ability, the next activate the next droid character in the enemy row. So we activate both droid characters. Okay, so that's nothing and nothing. Now we do gain an additional action. After attached character is activated, the enemy gains an additional action. So we activate the separatist base. We reroll all droid dice showing blank. Okay, still blank. And then we got a 6. Good for the enemy, that is. Okay. And now I want to activate Satine. Okay, so not bad. Let's go ahead and put this here. Okay, it's 2, 2. Okay, cool. And now what I want to do is use her ability to reroll this Obi-Wan die. Okay, cool. Very good. So now Grievous will deal 1 damage to Satine. Okay, and then Battle Droid will deal 2 indirect damage. I'll go ahead and deal that to Obi-Wan. Okay. Oh, I just realized I missed one of these 6s, so there we go. Oops, okay, there. Okay, so now I want to first resolve. Let's see, I want to first resolve I think I'll go ahead and use his power action to resolve this two value indirect damage. It'll be a 3 indirect damage, and we're gonna get rid of that separatist base. Okay, there we go. Because the separatist base says the enemy treats this support as if it were a character with 3 health when distributing indirect damage. This card is support if it has 3 or more damage on it. So it just acts as a sponge for indirect damage, which is good for the enemy. So that's the first thing. Now, that was my resolving indirect damage. Now the enemy will resolve his 3s, which is their highest value. And this Grievous special, spot the rightmost droid character in the enemy row. If it has a die on it, roll it into the pool, which it does. Now, if his dice was like blank and sitting out here, instead you would just give it a shield, okay? But the droid does have the die on it. So we just roll 3. Okay. So now, okay, so here's what happened, right? So we're resolving dice left to right. The enemy is resolving all 3s, right? So we resolve 3, and the enemy just rolled a 3, which means that the enemy will go ahead and resolve that 3 now. It's in the middle of resolving its 3s. So it just happened to roll a 3. So the droid will deal that 1 damage to Satine. Okay. Okay. And now, on my turn, I'll... let me first give Satine a couple shields, because I don't know what's going to come out of the droid deck if I defeat that thing. So 2 shields on Satine. Now, Grievous will make me lose a resource, but I don't have any, thankfully. And now we resolve this this special. Okay, so we're gonna have this lightsaber deal 2 unblockable damage. It's gonna go to the battle droid. So we're gonna lose that, lose this discarded, and Grievous takes 1 unblockable damage, and we draw a card from the top of the droid deck. We activate it immediately, and now we roll 6. And that is exactly why I wanted to give the 2 shields to Satine, because I didn't know what would come out of the droid deck. So now we resolve that 2, and it goes to the shields. Okay. So that was my turn, enemy's turn, activated the 6, and now it's my turn again. I want to resolve this to gain a resource, and then resolve this to basically gain another resource. Then the enemy will flip a card. So at separate is landing. Search the encounter discard pile for a support card at random and a battle droid, and put them in the enemy row in any order. Okay. So the only support card is this one, and then I need a battle droid. Okay. I'll go ahead and put them like this. Actually, no, like this. There, sure. All right. So now we got a separatist base there. Okay, there we go. And let's put a die on that, and a shield here. Okay, and on my turn, I want to give Satine 2 shields. Okay, there we go. Now the enemy now has a new character that it can activate, so it'll activate the battle droid. Okay, roll the 6. And I'll go ahead and give Obi-Wan a shield. And then the droid will deal 2 indirect damage, so it'll go to the 2 shields. Actually, no, I take it back. No, hold on. We need to activate that first before we resolve the 6. So let's see. We activate that. We roll all droid dice showing blank. Okay, 2. Still a blank. Okay, now my turn. I am gonna gain control of the battlefield. So I gain a resource, and I can place a card from my discard pile at the bottom of my deck. Let's put defensive stance at the bottom of my deck. Okay. And so that's it for my turn. Now the enemy just has free range to do whatever it wants, so 6, that's 2 indirect damage. They go to the shields. And this is just blank. Lose all hope. Each player is forced to choose one. If I have any resource tokens, lose all of them. If I have any cards in hand, discard my hand. I suppose I'm gonna have to discard my hand. Okay. I would rather not lose the resources. Seize. That sucks. The enemy claims the battlefield, even if it was already claimed by a player this round. This doesn't cause the enemy to automatically pass for the rest of the round as long as it can take an activate, resolve, or play action. Well, so even though I claim the battlefield now, the enemy will take it away from me. Alright, so that sucks. And then we try to resolve the enemy claim ability. If the enemy has no resources, they gain a resource, but they do have a pair of resources, so that doesn't happen. And it looks like that's it. So now we move on to the upkeep. So the enemy will advance because it will gain a resource. So we move this here. And now I also gain my 2 resources. So why don't I start using this now? 4. Okay. And then we refresh this. Okay. And let's go ahead and draw 3 for the enemy here. Okay. And now we remove these exhaust tokens. Okay, and now I draw up to 5, and I also flip this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's my new hand. Looks good. Okay, so let's see. So the enemy will go first because they did gain control of the battlefield. So let's start by activating Grievous. So we roll 5 dice. So we got 2 6s, 3. Actually, we got 3 6s. It's a lot of damage. Grievous doesn't usually hash out this much damage, but he's just been rolling 6 after 6. Let's activate Satine before she passes away. That's gonna be pretty bad. So let's roll Satine. Do I have anything in my hand? I do have a punch dagger, but that's fine. Let's see. It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. And now the enemy will roll Battle Droid, which will then also activate Magna Guard. Okay. Let's see. So Battle Droid, Magna Guard. Okay. Let's see. Let's reroll. And I didn't use her ability earlier, but that looks fine to me. So hopefully I can work out a way to use that. Okay. 2, 2. Okay. So I'm gonna try to hash out a bunch of damage. A Battle Droid will activate. So 3. So before Satine takes too much punishment, let's go ahead and give Satine 2 shields. So that's 1, 2. And then Grievous will resolve the 3s, and that'll be 3 damage against Satine. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and resolve this against Magna Guard. Or actually, hold on a second. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll use Obi-Wan's power action, and I'll resolve this so that it shows 3 instead of 2. So I'll increase its value by 1. I'll resolve it against the Magna Guard, okay? And that'll make it so that, so a couple things happen here. So this will kill Magna Guard, okay? So first, let's go ahead and deal 4 damage, so 1 damage to Grievous, so he's 1 away from flipping. And if you read the instructions, okay, from Magna Guard, so each time you defeat Magna Guard while Grievous is on his commanding legion side, you put a damage on him, even if Magna Guard returns, okay? So you'll deal 1 damage, Magna Guard will return, and he'll be put on the rightmost side of the enemy row. he'll have a resource on him just so that you're reminded that he was revived. And he's put on the right side like that, okay? And that pretty much is it. So that stops him from activating the 5. Maybe he'll roll a 6, who knows. But the good thing about that is that now the enemy has to spend another action activating him. So it gives me a bit more time. Let's see. Okay, and he rolled a 6. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. So in that case, what I'll do is play only. I'll play this on my turn. Play only if you have 1 or more dice showing a value of 2 or more. Remove it, dice showing a value of 0. Oh, I misinterpreted that. I thought that I could remove that, but not. So what I'll do is I'll roll. Oh, and I just realized that I never activated this actually. So we kind of did it backwards. So we'll activate this, and there were no droid dice earlier with blank anyway, so the enemy would have just gained a resource with separatist base. Okay, so that's solved. So that's another turn that the enemy had to spend. Okay, activating that, which means that it does give me a bit more time. Okay, so let's see. So I can't use this, but I can use the force. Okay, so I'll go ahead and and I actually have 2 actions because so I was supposed to yeah, so I basically get to do 2 actions. So I guess what I'll do is I want to reroll this, yeah, because I forgot that the enemy was supposed to activate that first. I got ahead of myself. Let me reroll this. So let's reroll these 2 and see if I get some better results. Okay, I got some damage there at least. All right, cool. Anyway, so that's my first action, and then my second action is spending 1 resource with use the force. I want to turn this to a blank side. There we go. All right, so we're caught up. Now the enemy resumes. So that's 1 resource that they gain, activating their 5s. And now the enemy is gonna do some damage to Satine, which is unfortunate. I wish I could give her some shields, but I think I'm a bit too late for that. What I'll do is let's turn this to a what do we do? Yeah, let's turn this to a melee side, and then the enemy will do 3. So spot the rightmost droid in the enemy row, and if it's if it has a die on it, roll it into the pool. Otherwise, give it a shield. So the die is not on the droid. It's a blank, so we just give it a shield. Okay, 3. 1 damage to Satine. Okay, and then another 3, another damage to Satine. Okay, there we go. Now finally, so what I'll do is I'll activate these. I'll resolve these to kill the Magna Guard, and that'll finally make Grievous flip. Okay, and it'll stop the droids from regenerating. But okay, so we got rid of the Magna Guard. Okay, and again, let's read what happens here. So if you look at the instructions card, after the 5th damage is placed on Grievous while he's on this commanding Legion side, do the following. Put the droid you just defeated in the discard pile. If it was Magna Guard and didn't have a resource token on it, okay, so we skip that. Reveal the top card of the droid deck. Okay, place it in the rightmost enemy slot and activate it. So that's a Droideca, which comes into play with a shield, and we're gonna activate the Droideca. Okay. Okay, so that's 3, and it looks like Satine is about to go pass away, which is sad. So then we activate the droid. Now flip General Grievous. Okay, so we finally get to flip him. Okay, so we remove this damage from him. We flip him, and he still has his 2 shields, by the way. Yeah, heal all damage from him. He keeps his shield tokens, if any. If he has any dice in the pool, they remain there. But now equal different symbols. But yeah, he didn't have any dice in his pool, so there we go, shuffled. And now we shuffle the droid deck into the encounter deck. And then we set this plot aside. Okay. Alright. So now, finally, droids are going to stop regenerating. Okay. There we go. But now we have this board state here where Grievous has a bunch of droids. But now on my turn, what I did was I resolved my melee dice, right? And then all of that happened after killing the last droid. But now Grievous gets to activate, and Droideka just finishes off Satine. Okay, now we move the lightsaber to Obi-Wan, and unfortunately I was not able to resolve all of those dice, but now it's all left to Obi-Wan to save the day. We'll see if that happens. Okay, so now Satine is gone. Okay, let's put this aside. All right, now that was a enemy activating or resolving his 3 value die, and now my turn. I'm gonna play Punch Dagger. Okay, so I have lightsaber and Punch Dagger. Enemy will play a card. Give each enemy character 1 shield, so that's 3. And then we gave 1 to battle droid, and then the Droideka has another die. Sorry, another shield. And I think now on my turn I'll just claim the battlefield, and I gain a resource. Okay. Enemy will heal 1 damage from each enemy character. There, only the battle droid. And then stockpile, the enemy gains 2 resources, so it'll advance and then it'll have 1 left. Like that. Which means that it'll then play this card. Deal 1 damage to each player's characters. There we go. Okay, and that is it. We now move on to upkeep, so enemy will gain a resource. Let's refresh the enemy hand roll. I need to deal 12 damage to Grievous before Obi-Wan takes. Let's see. Yeah, he only has 8 lives left. It's not looking likely, but we'll see. Get my 2 resources. We go up to 4, and we draw up to 5. Okay, cool. All right, so with that lightsaber, we might get there. We flip this, and that's it. We remove these exhaust tokens. There we go. And this power action token. Okay. So I go first. First thing I'll do is place this lightsaber on Obi-Wan. There we go. And now Grievous will activate. And now he's on his other side. So after the enemy advances, treat all damage done by this card's dice showing melee as if it was unblockable. So that's why he has his resource side on number 6, so that he'll try to advance before dealing damage with the other sides of his face. Okay. Oops. Okay, so Grievous will activate, so that's 2, 2. So just a bunch of melee damage. It's not looking good. Yep, bunch of melee damage coming my way. Let's put this here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so first thing, I need to see what I roll with Obi-Wan. Okay. Alright. Okay, so then Battle Droid will activate, which will then activate the next Battle Droid, and then after this character is activated, activate the next droid character in the enemy row. So all 3 droids are activated. Okay. Yep. So this is just looking pretty dire for Obi-Wan. 3. Okay. And then the enemy will activate that in a second. But let's see what I can do here. So first, I want to use his power action to give him 3 shields. So I think I'll just do this. So that's the first thing. Now, enemy. That's each player chooses one of their characters, deal 1 damage to each chosen character. Actually, what am I doing? Like I said, this needs to be activated now. So the enemy gains 1 resource, because there's no droid dice with blank faces. So the enemy gains 1 resource, which means that he'll activate, he'll use his ability, so his melee faces now deal unblockable damage. Okay. All right. So that was that. And now on my turn, I'm gonna spend one resource, and I'm gonna turn. Let's see. I'm gonna use a friend lost to turn this to this side and this to this side. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna deal some damage to Grievous with that. Okay, so then Grievous will resolve this, which is not unblockable. That's his special. It's not a melee side. So deal 1 to Obi-Wan, and then Droid Deca will deal 1, which will go to the shields. Okay, and that was Grievous activation. Now my turn. I want to gain a resource. Okay. Now then Grievous will. Actually, no. This droid will deal 1 damage, which goes to the shield. Now my turn, I'll deal 6 damage to Grievous. Okay, so 6 damage. So he has 3 shields. So this will go up to 3. Okay, there we go. And then Grievous or Grievous will resolve this 1 unblockable damage against Obi-Wan, and then this droid will do 1 ranged damage. Okay, and then I'll just claim the battlefield. So I'll gain a resource, and yeah, I still gain control of it, and that is really all I can do. So I just have to just take whatever comes my way now. So 3 damage. Let's just use this, okay? And then the enemy will play 4 cards. Fearsome Presence. The enemy removes. Each player removes 1 of their dice, showing a value of 1 or less. So thankfully, that was a dud. Oh, the enemy resolved all of its leader dice in the pool, then ready the enemy leader. Well, let's see if I survive this wave of dice. So he'll basically get to activate Grievous again. Okay, let's see. Looks like I might survive this. Wasn't too bad. Okay, let's see. So that's 2 resources. Oh, and I forgot to advance, actually. So the enemy advanced, and I forgot to get this die. Okay, so we have to roll another one. 2. Okay. So against 2 dice, and then 5. So that's he just takes another damage. You see that already? So that's 6, 9. So he has 2 lives left. So that's 3 and 2. Yeah, it's over. Okay. Let's see what else he had. So that's Vulture, Starfighter, and another Fearsome Presence. But yeah, a pretty brutal encounter. That was pretty brutal. But but very fun anyway. So I didn't need to add, because I did add some elite cards, but I guess none of the elite cards that I added came out. So yeah, none of this was even elite. It was just the deck doing its thing. But yeah, very fun. And like I said, this is the most powerful deck, one of the most powerful decks you can build with just pre-constructed decks. So if you feel that this is too much, and I have won on this difficulty before, but if you feel that it's much of a challenge, you can always play it on easy. And there's other ways of adjusting difficulty with some of the modules that I offer. But yeah, this was super fun. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you folks have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. And if you enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.